Hello there. Today's topic is the moment when anxious feelings start to ruin a good relationship. And I am going to just share this in my group really quick, which you're welcome to join if you're not a part of it yet. The link is pinned at the top of my feed. Okay, one moment. Okay, so this live is in honor of a gentleman who has a wonderful relationship with a wonderful woman, but something is bothering him. And I wanted to talk about this with you because if you are struggling with feeling like you have anxious, avoidant dynamics in your relationship where you have, things come up where you feel like your partner is not there in a way that they should be, and that's stressing you out, and that's been going on for a while, that can be difficult to sort out. And this situation that I ran across, so someone was sharing in a Facebook group about his experience, is the very beginning of this situation, of this dynamic. It has not happened. It's not been going on very long. And this is the first time he's doing something about it. So I wanted to talk about this with you because it's easier to break it down when it's in the beginning because it's simple. The situation is simple. Then as it goes along, it starts to get more complicated because you have more situations where you've interacted or, tried to do something about it, and then what your partner said and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this is a very clean, simple example because it's just getting started. I'm Shauna White, Heartfelt Intimacy Coach, and I help people to find the natural way inside themselves to rebalance in their relationship so that heartfelt intimacy can flow naturally. And today I'm pulling apart these dynamics of anxiousness and avoidance. Hi, Charlie. And so that you can see what I see and hopefully make a positive shift if this comes up in your relationship. So here's the story that this gentleman told. He and his girlfriend have a great time. Everything is wonderful when they get together. She is a doctor, I believe, if I recall correctly. She's a doctor. She's got a very busy schedule. And so when they don't see each other, when they're apart, she doesn't text at all. And he feels like he got dropped and it's not comfortable for him. And he's talked about it with her before, but he had gotten to a place where he's like, she's avoidant. This is her avoidant behavior. And it's not cool. It's not working for me. It makes me question the relationship. So he sent her a text along these lines, and she didn't respond right away to the text. That's why he posted his first post. He was like, I don't know, I sent this text. What do you think? Did I overdo it? But she responded eventually. She said that she was taking her time to be with her own feelings in response to his text so that she could respond clearly, which is a very healthy sign. So they talked about it. And his position is basically like, I need something to change. Like, I just need like 2 texts in a week. Maybe they see each other on weekends. I don't remember exactly what the interval is. But during the week, I need at least like 2, or it doesn't even have to be more than 2. I just need some communication to say, hey, I'm busy, whatever. I love you, but I won't be talking to you for a little while because I'm so busy. Whatever, some kind of communication. That's a very reasonable request, right? She said to him, I feel like you're trying to change me. And here's what I want to point out to you. She's feeling controlled. Now, he made a reasonable request. I agree that his request is reasonable. However, his energy is the issue. His attitude is that he's making a reasonable request and that she's avoidant and that her behavior is making him feel like he got dropped. And having such a great time together and then feeling dropped is just not okay with him. And that he feels like, what is this relationship really? I mean, if he feels like if I feel unloved between the times that we're together, then I question how deep this relationship really is. And it's okay that he's having these things come up for himself, but the posture that he's taking about how he wants to resolve it, that's the problem. He is looking at her like she's avoidant and her behavior is the problem. And she needs to fix it or he's out of here. And, you know, whatever. I want to say, if you've got a deal breaker thing going on and you want to leave, that's fine too. But I think he wants this relationship. So far, she wants this relationship. She says she wants another chance. But what I don't think he realizes is that she's also giving him another chance. Because right now, what he's doing is he's acting like he's right and she's wrong. And he's giving her a mold that she has to fit into in order to make this relationship work. And the problem with that is control, and control chokes off the flow of authenticity. It replaces authenticity with performance. And when you have the replacement of authenticity with performance, you have the stifling of joy. And when that starts to take place in your relationship, then you start to have a slow cascade of negative downstream effects that eat away at your intimacy and connection. And the relationship starts to be more and more of motions that you go through instead of a free exploration of dancing together in the playful, romantic, all the different kinds of energy that you inspire with each other together, that your togetherness inspires for you to explore, right? That starts to get shut down and replaced with doing what we think we should do in order to please our partner and doing what we think we should do in order to be pleased. He's also starting to set up a performance of the way he thinks that things need to be. Now, I've gone through my own challenges with an absence of communication. Like I love communication, and I have experienced an absence of communication for my tastes in my long distance relationship at times. And the thing is that the attitude is the problem. I'm going to go back to that, what I said about my own experience, but the attitude is the problem because that's what chokes up the energy. So for me, I had to come to a place, I chose to come to a place of rebalancing my energy because I wanted to always come back to the place where my partner is free to do what he really wants to do. And I'm free to do what I really want to do. And allowing that freedom in your relationship, when your partner does come to you, when you actually allow them to leave and never contact you again, you actually allow that to happen and it doesn't happen. Your partner actually does contact you again. You find out that they really love you. You find out that they really want to be with you. When you start to ask them for connection and then they give you connection in this performance form, it's not satisfying. It's not convincing to your heart that they really want to be with you because you asked them to do it. And are they just appeasing me? Or do they really want to be with me? And that feeds the insecurity, that feeds the anxiety. So when you want to break this down, it is important to communicate. Like, you don't want to be a doormat and just let things happen in your relationship that aren't okay with you and they never get addressed. However, you have to rebalance your energy first. so that your communication is not controlling like the way his is right now, where he's like, I'm right, you're wrong, and you better shape up, Miss Avoidant. This is another thing in the whole attachment styles. It's not everywhere, but in a lot of places, the avoidant is viewed as wrong, and the anxious is viewed as the hero of love, albeit they've got issues, but they're the hero of love, and the avoidant is the villain, because the avoidant is the one who's always walking out on love, supposedly. But I think what's actually more often going on is that I know a lot of people who display avoidant behavior when they're actually feeling sensitive to pressure and force, and they back off from pressure and force. So when you have someone that's having anxious feelings, and those anxious feelings are motivating them to control, that tends to push a sensitive person away. But there are so many other factors. This girlfriend is busy. She's a doctor. She probably needs downtime from her work. So really what you want to do is like chill out, find your own sense of peace where you're okay, even if your partner leaves. I know it's hard to do that, but that's where you got to get your energy balanced. And then you can have a conversation with them to try to understand and let them understand you, but not from a place of control, just from a place of exploring. Like, hey, I miss you during the week. I don't know that I would say any more than that. I miss you during the week. How's it going with you during the week? What's your week like? Like, I always feel like I want to talk to you, but I don't want to bother you. Are you busy? Like, this is a way of talking about what goes on between their visits that is not trying to control her, but still being honest about how he feels, and is creating a space where they can start to understand each other, try to understand each other deeply. If she can understand him better without feeling controlled by him, she might volunteer to connect with him a little bit more during the week. So that's my prescription for when you have a situation where you have anxious feelings coming up in your relationship, and trying to express them is causing things to shut down, or causing difficult things to happen, causing fights to happen, or pushing your partner away. The first thing you want to do is rebalance your own energy so that you're not chasing, you're not pushing, you're not controlling. You want to be at a place where you actually feel like you're okay with or without your partner. And then if you still have questions about something that happened, then go ahead and ask those questions and have a conversation to try to understand each other better. But the energy of trying to request what you feel like you need to have happen and asking your partner to fit into that is not as helpful as it is sold to you to be. That's the popular wisdom out there, that, you know, everybody has needs and you should make your needs known to your partner and ask for your needs to be met. And in a sense, that's true, but it is not true if it is implemented in a controlling way. It will tear your relationship apart slowly, usually slowly, until it escalates. Once it escalates, it could tear your relationship pretty quickly. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. While it was fresh in my mind from reading this guy's experience and having the opportunity to talk about it, it's in the beginning, right? It's in the beginning. It's just one factor. Everything's great, but she doesn't text him during the week, and his attitude is the problem. And I told him that, actually. I put that in the comments. I said, look, you know, this approach is going to have negative effects downstream, and I recommend you do it this way instead of that way. but he didn't respond to me. So I didn't get the sense he was open. And that's another thing is you got to be willing to know that the axis of change is inside you. And when you rebalance your energy, how you show up in the relationship, everything else starts to fall into place. Humans love to be in love. So your partner is not a villain or beep or or a I have all these curse words coming to my mind. I don't think I should say them out loud though. A messed up avoidant. You know, your partner is not a villain or a messed up avoidant or a rear end or any of those things. Your partner just wants to be allowed to be themselves with you. And for both of you to be allowed to be yourselves with each other, that is a difficult thing to do. And you need deep skills in how to rebalance your own energy so that you can feel at peace with yourself, with or without your partner, and then come together with your partner in a giving way, and an appreciating way, and a let me understand you and let me understand myself with you way. And then things start to flow. So if that's something that you want help with, you're welcome to reach out to me. And otherwise, I will see you here again soon with more supportive thoughts and stories. Okay, take care. Bye for now.